a few months ago, I woke up and I suddenly got it. And suddenly I was thrown into this expansive, amazing feeling. And ever since that day, I've been trying to get back there.
If you are anything like me, you might have caught yourself trying to cling on a psychological state which you previously had. You might have felt strong at some point and now you're feeling down, and in your mind you're psychologically trying to cling on that state which you previously had. The main issue with that is that fundamentally, when you are trying to do that, you are operating in fear which is debilitating and has you be rigid and inflexible. As we will see in other videos, the output is the result of the input. Your emotions, your character, your behaviors are the result of the circumstances that surround you. In consequence of that, your psychological state is also exactly that. Your psychological state is subjected to the circumstances which you find yourself in. What I'm trying to get with this is that your psychological state right now is probably different than what your psychological state was before, because your circumstances are probably different themselves. If your psychological state is different than what it was before, because your circumstances are different than what they were before, don't you think it's vain to try to cling on the psychological state which you previously had, which you had because your circumstances were as they were, and now that they are not like that and they are different, you will obviously have a different psychological state. Factually, when you are trying to cling on to that previous psychological state, you are by definition operating in fear, as we've said. If you weren't afraid, you wouldn't be trying to cling onto that which you previously had. Fear, which, as I have said, is debilitating and will drain all of your energy. But that's not fear itself. Fear itself perhaps doesn't have to be this way. What is so very debilitating and drains all of your energy is actually trying to deny that fear, hiding from that fear, being even more afraid of that fear itself. Do you understand? You can be afraid, but you can actually be in touch with that fear. Don't just freeze and stay still and wait for it to go away. It is my understanding that the best thing that you can do is accept it and try to walk your path irregardless of how you are feeling about it. But at the same time, do not try to deny it. Do not try to hide from it. Do not try to run from it. And do not try to close your eyes from it and pretend that it is not there. Be so very in touch with your emotions. And it is, even if it's fear that you're feeling, then be so very in touch with the fact that you're actually being afraid. Walk your path and let it follow you, if it will. And see if you can operate in its presence, right? Or see if you can operate in your acceptance of its presence. As Krishnamurti said, it's when you look at your fear that it perhaps has a chance to go away. But again, by definition, when you're denying it, you are operating in fear of that fear. you are perpetuating it. How could you ever expect it to go away?